special edition, man. I got Wizzo and Rico in the building, and we about to chop it up. So I don't
What's
know if you've
going
been laying
on?
under a rock though, but there's some stuff been going down, man. So we're gonna start with Wizzo. Go ahead and introduce your stuff, and we'll start self, and then we can go to Rico.
All right, that's what's up. So on the intro, does that mean I can say my name or something? Do I count to three or something? No,
Yeah, you let it however you want to go, man. You go. We hot.
no. This what's up, everybody. It's Paul Wizzo. Hey, y'all want to follow me and check me out? I'm Paul Wizzo on YouTube, or you can follow me. Shit, I messed that up on my damn phone right now. I am Paul Wizzo on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube at Wizzo Talk 8972. Also got my podcast, and we're here to chop it up with PM and make this thing get hot.
What's going on? I'm Rico. Hey, I'm on all the major platforms. Riding with Rico, RICO, spelled out correctly. So let's get it, PM.
Yeah, man. I want to thank y'all for being here, man. Right now, you already know if they, people ain't been watching the news, man. The current state of America has got a lot of people watching the news. You know, different kind of things of that nature, man. So, if you didn't know, in our administration, we voted in Agent Orange this past year. I won't say we, but they have, and he's in office, and he's bringing his people with him, and it's an effect that's affecting everyone right now. So in the current state of America, we're watching different things from different cities, from different states. There's protests going on, and just not even on American soil. We have stuff going on outside from Venezuela. We have China and Russia trying to get their part into it, stuff like that. So it's definitely a time to be aware and prepare. That's the best way I can put it, man. So Wizzo, what do you think about that?
And I hear you when you said, I was in the process of sharing the live on my Facebook. Yeah, I definitely hear what you man saying. It's time to prepare. And as we was talking, and Rico, he'll probably touch base on it. Uh, I haven't been getting prepared as I should, but I am getting prepared now, which I'm a little bit behind on it. This administration, I know that politicians lie. I mean, damn near almost every time they open their mouth. But this group right here, they just look straight at your face, straight at you, and just lie about every little thing, every little detail. So, hey, all I can say, man, is start getting ready. If you start now, you're a little bit late. Like myself, I'm a little bit late, but best believe I'm ready for them. What I got on that.
Hey, Wizzo, I think you're going in and out. Can you hear you? Good, Rico?
I barely he is going in and out.
All right, I'm gonna do a little bit something different. You can probably go to Rico or something.
Okay. And Rico, before we start, man, I just found out I want to thank you for your service, bro. For putting in the workforce. And I didn't even know that you were in the military, but I thank you for sharing that with me. And I do want to thank you for your support and doing what you were supposed to do as a, veteran here in the United States.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Can I speak on what we were talking about?
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm with Wizzo. You need to prepare because I know the tactics that they're doing, and it's called basically softening the target, getting rid of the immigrants because those are people who could possibly fight against them. Because I truly believe that there's a civil war coming to this country, and they're setting up in these major cities that are run by Democratic, whether it's the governor or the mayor of these cities, because those are the strongholds. If they can take down the major cities where majority or minority is at first, the rest of the country will be easy. All this saying they're going in with the border patrol and stuff, yeah, they're taking the people, but they're already setting up. They're gonna their goal is to have all of their people set up around these cities so they can control what goes in and out. I know the tactics. I recognize it, and I've been preparing, and you should as well. I believe too many people now in this country are just going and dealing with things day to day like nothing can ever happen. People, the attack on Pearl Harbor, America has bombed its own citizens before in Philadelphia. I don't remember what year it was. So go back and look at these things. Don't put anything past the government. Speaking of the government, if you break down govern and mint, govern means to control. Mint in Latin means mind. So the government's goal is to control your mind, the narrative, like with the news. Don't believe any of that. Prepare and know what's coming. That's what I'm here to. I'm telling you, prepare your families.
So when they start the martial law thing, I was unaware that you can do it from state to state, and you just informed me that it's across the. I thought it was just all at once. Everybody was under it. I didn't know that you can do it state by state, city by city, and things of that nature. So I thank you for making that aware of us. I've seen recently in New York where they were arresting ICE agents saying that they are out of bounds. They're supposed to be at the border and patrolling that area. Is that something that you're familiar with, Rico?
Me personally, I've never heard of that, but I agree with it. I was wondering what was taking so long for it to happen, because this is what's going to happen when everything goes down. Once they try to take over these strongholds like New York, Houston, Detroit, San Antonio, places like these major cities like Portland, Oregon, these major cities, it's going to happen. Eventually the police and the federals, the border patrol and the ICE agents, they're going to have clashes. And that's when who will fire the first shot? When the Civil War started, I can't remember the man's name, but he was in Alabama and he fired the first shot that started the Civil War. Someone will fire their first shot, someone from people going against the government, and they'll be remembered forever because they're going to kill one of those agents. But
Yeah,
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I seen in New York, he was arrested. He tried to detain someone, and he said that it was unless you have a warrant for that person, that they couldn't actually mess with this person. Then he arrested the ICE agent, but also in the video, it looks like he was taken in by another ICE agent. So I don't know if he actually went to jail or how they did that.
I haven't seen it.
Processing it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Rico, I mean not Rico. Wizzo, Mike, check on Wizzo. Yeah, I can't hear you. So let me see. Okay, so it looks like Chocolate Buddha. So we're gonna go ahead and bring Chocolate Buddha in. Hey, what's going on, my brother?
What's on? Everybody can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Wizzo, you good?
As technical difficulties going on.
Yeah, we can't quite hear you just yet. Well, once you tap in, just go ahead and start talking. We'll let you know. We'll give you a thumbs up when you're in. Buddha, we was actually talking about the current state of America, the ICE agents and stuff that are placed around. So Rico was informing me that, first of all, that you can do martial law city by city. And I used to think that it was, across the, it had to be across the whole United States. And he was saying, what you were saying, Rico, that it's a softening target?
I say what they're doing now is softening the target, removing people who would be a possible enemy, like immigrants. They're softening the target and placing the military already in these major, the cities that's ran by a Democratic. It's basically a Democratic controlled city. They're placing the military already there surrounding the city. You know how we do. You surround the city, you control everything that goes in and out of it. Yeah, you take.
What's your thoughts on that, Chocolate Buddha?
Well, of course, my military brother, I totally agree with him. I want to add some extra stuff to that. What they're trying to do is have a case for martial law. Again, that's the game that they're playing. They're trying to pull out everybody that might fight back and stuff or stand up. But as soon as one of those agents is shot or killed, then they're going to be able to enact martial law. This is why after the lady got shot in the face, he sent more agents over there because they need to have that interaction to have more. They just can't do it because they want to. So right now they're just trying to antagonize cities to make this happen. The other thing I want to add on this, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm all American all day, every day, but I am pissed off that number one, the Democrats ain't doing half the shit they need to be doing to stop this. And number two, this guy is literally getting away with murder. He's literally getting away with murder. We just saw it right there in the open, and they double down. And this should be the time that our political so-called allies and Democrats should be up in there screaming for something to stop, screaming to get them out of there, because cities can't do it.
So do the police join in with the ICE? I mean, with ICE in this
With-
situation, or is it going to be a state by state type of thing again?
In Minnesota, I talk about that because that's where I really live at, even though I'm in New Mexico right now. The police are in charge of trying to keep order. Now, in some places like Texas, they already said they're going to join in with them. But in Minnesota and Minneapolis, they're there to keep order. So they're basically trying to be a barrier between ICE and the legal protest that's happening there. But if they declare martial law, all that changes. That's why the mayor, that's why the police is telling everybody, hey, whatever y'all do, don't give in to what they're trying to get y'all to do. They won't say the martial law part, but that's what's waiting. If one of them gets killed or somebody does something and takes them out, they're going to bring in the heavy guns. And it's not going to be, oh, we're just going to go street by. They're actually going to go in like what's going on in Iraq. They're going to come in there with the military arsenals, bombing, taking out anybody that's in the way or even possibly being a problem. That's how serious this thing is right now.
It is. I was saying that, like, people not taking it serious. They are invoking and touch on one thing Chocolate Buddha was saying with these Democratic led cities, like you got chief of police that's Democrat, the mayor that's a Democrat, and all that. When they know what happens when martial law is invoked, some of them is not going to agree with it, and they're going to stand their ground, and they're going to have their police force stand their ground. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. That's why I believe that those major cities, I guarantee you, when something goes down, those major cities will be attacked first. Those are strongholds. Again, softening the target. I'm telling you, man, it's very tactical, like with precision. When he was saying they're gonna come in, ain't but one way we come in that bitch, with loud booms and heavy.
And that's what I was thinking, man. They was going, separate and then trying to conquer, divide, and conquer. Because if we can get this group of people and this race of people out and this race of people out, then we can attack one. That's how I see it. That's how I was seeing it. I don't have your experience in military and, how you guys and, been within this, and looking at it this way, it seems like it's divide and conquer. That's how I'm looking at it, like you guys are saying. It's just like, let's go ahead and get them away. But when it comes to local authorities, do they join, do they follow the mayor, or they still got to follow the president?
Oh, no. They fall and don't get it twisted. The president, with his dumb ass, thinks that he can just rule everybody. It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
That's why when he gives everybody these immunity things or commute their sentence, he can only do that at federal level. At the state level, the state's still in charge. The only hang up is if he has to declare martial law. So no, the states are still in charge.
Okay. So it looks like Josh Swindle 1223 says, you claim to be American, yet you want to obstruct the law. Y'all stupid.
Who is that?
Josh
Josh
Swindle.
First of all, thanks for tuning in, because we need you and more people to tune in. Second of all, you can kiss the center of my ass, because I'm a proven All-American, 20-year veteran. I've done all the stuff that needs to be done. And I can still do more if you ever want to talk to me. Either way you want to have that conversation, I'm cool with it. But let's talk about obstructing the law. It's funny that people think that just because it's a law means it's okay. Slavery used to be the law. Beating your women used to be okay in the law. Having sex with 13 and 14-year-old kids was the law. And if you're the kind of pervert that I think you are and was okay with that, you're the problem. This is the reason why laws get changed, because people like you have the power to put it in place, and regular people look at the law and say, hey, this is not good. This is United States of America. We need to vote. We need to change this. And that's why I call myself an All-American, because I know my history and I know this country enough to know that we don't have to sit back and stand for this shit. So clown boy or girl or whoever you call yourself, keep tuning in. We like those numbers. You're doing exactly what we need you to do.
People,
Go ahead,
white men like him, because I know he's a white male. They're what's wrong with the country. Mediocre white men is what's the problem is, because with everything going on, the white men that had all those high paying positions in the past, they couldn't get them without being qualified. Like they talk about DEI, affirmative action, and all that. For this person doing all this, DEI doesn't mean that you give a black person, a Spanish person, or a woman, or a gay person a job. It only means you have it. Basically, when you do the reading, it means you have to be qualified. Showing up and being white will not get you the job anymore. Besides that, when it comes to DEI and affirmative action, our people were at the bottom of the ones who actually benefited from it. Both of those programs benefited white women the most. But those are the people that's the problem. They call us lazy and we can't do this and we can't do that. They've been calling us lazy since slavery ended. Yet they want to they would oppress us in order to get their way. If you design a system for you, you're supposed to prosper in it. You see what I'm saying? Correct. You design a system for him. But I don't want to get off track. Well, let's keep talking about what's going on in the country.
And then we had the same guy. Josh Window says, murder, moron, you can't block the road, obstructing federal officials. Be ordered to exit the vehicle, try to flee, and hit the cops. Again, we're stupid. Nah, I really say this, Swindle. I think the law is if you place yourself in front of a vehicle, that is wrong, first of all. Second of all, if he would have gotten hit by that vehicle, he would have gotten hit by that vehicle because he jumped to the side and actually placed the firearm in front of the shield and still shot that innocent woman. So, I mean, rewind the tapes and you go look at it, man. I know you're kind of heartless and things of that nature, but you got to call it what it is, man. He actually, and if you look at that video, while he's doing that, it was another agent that fell off the top of the car trying to get over there so fast and draw his weapon that he bust his butt on that ice out there, being an ICE agent trying to come to the aid of his fellow man when there was another officer right in between there. And you didn't see the other agent draw his gun. So I think it was murder. That's just my thoughts on it. What you guys think?
Well, man, let me go on this because this ass clown that's entertaining us right now with his dumb spelling ass, he keeps talking about, the person was ordered out of the car. Again, like you said, look at the tape. He never ordered out the car. But you want to know what he did do that they're not paying attention to besides shoot her 3 times in the face? He had a camera. He had his phone out. He did a 360 walk around the whole car. Before he got to the side, that lady spoke to him. She said, "I'm not even mad with you." That's what she said in the driver's seat. When he got to the back and he ran into her wife, and her wife gave her the business, this is when he got pissed off because his manhood was taken. ICE and all the shit that's happening right now is about white privilege being on full display. And when that woman talked to him like the piece of shit he was, that's when he got mad. He walked all the way around the car. And if you look at it, again, not just the one shot that he got, the multiple shots, even his camera shot, he's got the phone in his right hand while he's in the front. While he's in the front of the car, he switches it and grabs his pistol. He never gives the order to get out the car. He switches and grabs his pistol. And when she turns the tires to the right, not to the left or straight to hit him, he was clear of the car when he fired his first shot. He was looking in the car when he fired the other 2 shots in that woman's face. And here's the big kicker. With his camera, a dick face, whoever was on that, go back and check that. With his camera, he says, "Fucking bitch."
Yeah, I saw that.
You say if your life was in danger. That's not what you say if somebody tried to hit you. That's what you say when you're a little pea-brain, little dick, square-ass motherfucker that had your feelings hurt by a woman.
Yeah. And
you had to take that gun because you knew if you probably would threw hands, that lady would dump you on that ice on your head.
Again.
Yeah.
Can I throw one last thing? Because this shit pissed me so bad. These people keep talking like these are federally trained federal agents. These are just motherfucking mama boys out the basement that couldn't get a job for anything else because of their hatred. And ICE said, we'll take you. Do you know that their PT test is based on a female PT test in the military? And they can't pass that. Most of them can't even pass it. Most of them can't even pass a background check, but they're getting a $50,000 bonus and they're going out here feeling like they're badass because they never would have joined the military. And the last thing I'm add, because I got to keep it 100. Not all the ICE agents are these racist, bigot assholes. There's some agents out there that I've seen that try to have a conversation. They say, this is my job. This is what I got to do. This is what I got to ask. And once people say what they got to say, they back the fuck up and they move out. I'm not talking about all agents. I'm talking about the ones like the one that shot that lady in the face, that hit people with their cars in Minnesota and other places, and nobody calling them on their bullshit. That's who I'm talking about.
He was one of those mediocre white men that I was talking about. They want all these laws coming back to where they can beat their wife and have sex with little girls with their little PPs, but they don't. And this guy right here, that when it comes to the male species, they are the weakest of the male species, what is by brain, physical, mental, all of the above. They are the weakest. That's why they must do these things and oppress everyone else. See, what these white folks don't realize, some of us know that oppression means strength. You know that you are less than we are. We are the superior being. And by you oppressing us, some of us know what it means. And any of us that's out there that see this, you being oppressed, know who you are. It's because you are kings and you are queens. Don't allow these mediocre, weak white men to get you down. Keep your head up.
Yeah, because to me, it seems like they're exchanging again the hoods for face masks. They won't appear. I mean, I don't care what the weather is. They won't show their face, and it's easily to hide behind that mask, go out there and disrespect people, cause harm, and then go back to your little country, your cities, and states and stuff like that. Then act like you ain't never been a part of what's going on, just in case you want to feel ashamed.
Yeah, it's gonna. I believe if some of them show their faces, it's going to show most of them are those January 6 people. Some of them, probably a lot of them, are cops who've been kicked off of the force for killing not just immigrants, but minority people, period. Prison, white men who've been in prison, all of that. I believe it's a lot of racist white men. That's what I believe. And some from that little small country over the water that controls this country. So that's what I believe who they are. That's if they show their faces, PM. Oh man.
Oh, different. Yeah, because you got to go back in public when this is all over, or when you off work and being seen. Yeah.
Yeah, cowards.
Do you think they're doing background checks, or they just letting anybody in?
They need bodies. That he is ICE and Border Patrol and all that. He is building his own private military. That's what he is doing. And right now they need bodies. They're letting anyone get in. Anyone get in. They need bodies. The sad part is people that look like us and Spanish people who are doing it as well for the money, not even thinking or coming to realize that when they're done with everyone else, they're going to turn on you and do to you the same thing they're doing, because at the end of the day, they don't want anyone that has melanin in their skin. That's what this is all about, because they have what's called a recessive gene. We, with the most melanin in our skin, we have what's called a dominant gene. They are literally being fucked. I mean, I don't know if you curse on here. Screwed into.
Listen up, Josh Swindle.
It's called genetic annihilation. Anytime they have a child with someone else, the child comes out looking like the other race, because their pineal gland is calcified. The pineal gland is what produces melanin. They don't produce melanin, hence why they look old so fast, and they're dying off because they're men becoming infertile at like 30s and stuff like that because of that recessive gene. What you don't realize, Josh Swindle, is that as early as 2017, y'all were 11.7% of the world population. It's almost down to 6% now. That's what all of this is about. They're losing power. This is a grab for power forever, because they are genetic annihilation is real.
Wow, And that's serious, man. They come in and they want to make it seem like, you know, they own a large population, or the majority of the United States. But I was like, if we was here first, how do you even calculate that to say it's more of y'all in the United States than it is us? I really didn't wrap my head around that, because if you still have the Indians that were here, I still think that the blacks was here. So it's like, how do you populate this country as much as you say? I think that number is just there to scare us, to
It
say,
is.
oh yeah, we have it, but yet you're showing yourself that you're showing so much every day that you are actually scared of the growth of, you know, the change. And I don't
They,
understand why they just can't get
they
along.
cowards. They cowards. And they can't compete. PM, they cannot compete. That's why they kept saying white men being cast to the wayside. No, you have to go get the degrees. You have to be qualified to get a job. You can't just be a white man and show up and get paid a bunch of money anymore. That's what they want. They're the lazy ones. And they're the ones don't want to do anything. And why it just popped in my head. I want to tell some of these people out here, these white people. You know how they always wanted to call us monkeys and all and this and that. If you go look up, and y'all know y'all can read probably, you go look up, y'all are part canine and part monkey, chimpanzee to be exact. And here is that why you called us monkey. Number one, if you shave a chimpanzee's hair off, they're white underneath. If you look at their lips and their face, who does it look like? They have big ears, flat asses, little dick, little penises, and big balls. And when they're sitting down, guess what? And they picking off one another and eating, that's lice. Which one of us gets lice?
Okay.
Y'all are derived from monkeys. You're not 100% human. We are the only race of people that is 100% human. They're Neanderthals. And they tell everyone, go back to your country. You don't even have a country to go back to. You came out the Caucasus Mountains, hence because you can't take the sun. So but see, everyone don't know this. Their fear tactic is making you think they're this large mass when they're not. That's why America, in the country that controls America, they have these huge defense budgets because they need the superior weaponry, because at the end of the day, they still expect everyone to attack them. That's what all of that is about. When you know you're weak, 1.5 or $1 trillion for a defense budget, what do you think that's about?
Mm-hmm.
Mediocrity. And who controls all that? White men. That's fear. They cowards because they can't compete.
Now, Josh said, my stepmom and my stepsister, immigrants, legal with papers, not deported, stop the race nonsense. Man, I can only tell you what I've been seeing all my life. There's Mr. Swindle, Josh. Mm-hmm. You're shooting unarmed black men.
Yep.
You're slamming unarmed people. You guys are cannibals. I ain't met one black person that ever ate a white person or any other kind of race. Like, you guys do things that actually show racism. You did have plantations. Half these houses that was built out here was built on our back, but you guys ran those plantations. You're trying to erase the history books. You have a president that acts like slavery wasn't there. So you tell me what's race nonsense? Explain that to me.
Exactly. Hey, go my bad.
I was just gonna say he's not gonna be able to explain that to you because he can only go with bullets that pacify his timid ego. Because the only reason he brought up his stepmama and his stepsister is because that's a little wave of the flag, like, oh, don't hit me so bad because I'm not really that bad. No, you really are that bad, because the guy that shot that woman in the face 3 times, his wife is an immigrant, Filipino.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they got pictures. They done already doxed them. They got pictures and everything out there. But that is not the case that I want to talk about, because we're talking about ICE. I don't even want to talk about race. I want to talk about rules of engagement. These motherfuckers keep talking about, oh, you got to do this and you got to respect the law, and they got to tell you. First of all, let's talk about the law. You're not supposed to be snatching anybody up out of their car if you know the rules of engagement. You're supposed to ask them for their papers, and you're supposed to tell them to come out, and if they resist, then you pull them out. Rules of engagement, let's just talk about the shooting. If somebody is in front of a car, because a car can be used as a weapon, the rules of engagement is not to shoot first. The rules of engagement is step the hell out of the way of the car. And if the person is fleeing from you, read your shit, Soft Swindle, whatever your ass is.
Josh Swindle.
Yeah. Shashi Swindle. if they're fleeing from you, just like somebody that has a concealed carry, like myself, you're supposed to let them go. You're not even supposed to fire rounds at them if they're trying
At
to
all.
flee. So everything that they're saying here, trying to protect him, somebody called him, he was a hero for shooting a unarmed woman in the face. You're just telling me who you really are. You have no respect for the law. You have no knowledge of military tactics. You don't care about accountability. The only thing you care about is your white privilege. And the only reason I said the white privilege is because that's the majority. But anybody that's working for ICE, doing stuff without rules of engagement, they're working off of white privilege. Because just like Rico said earlier, this president that we got was trying to build his own private army. Because remember, the last time he did this, he had people in vans jumping out in Portland, snatching people off the street. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He was doing that before, but now he's able to entice people more with $50,000 signing bonus. How many military people you know got $50,000 signing bonus for no qualification? Then he's got people coming up here now only 47 days of training because of President 47. They did 40. So they're telling us they don't want to do training. And I want to go back to something that you said earlier, brother, when you asked if they do background checks. Yes, they do background checks if they have to. Anybody that's in the federal service has to get that SF-86. The problem is they're not processing it. This is why we have a felon that is a president, because that SF-86 will not be green with a felony on there. He got 36 of them. All they did was to the side. And the same thing with these ICE agents. The majority of them probably got felonies, probably got active cases, but because Trump and what's the girl name that's always modeling with a weave on and stuff and her extensions? Christy Nome? Christy. They need bodies, so they can waive that. Is it legal or not? We don't know. But I'll tell you this: when midterms come and the votings happen, I'm not even talking about the Republicans. They already showed us who they are. I'm gonna be pissed off if the Democrats don't get in there and clean house. And when I say clean house, I don't mean fire people and let them go anywhere. People need to be held accountable for this stuff. We need to see jail time. We need to see people outed. We need to be see laws put in place so this doesn't happen again, whether it's Republican or Democrat. This is why I'm pissed off, because the system is pretty much been exposed to us that it's always been a good old boy system. They just been working it under the sheets. And now we got somebody in there that pulled the sheets off and said, look, America is white privilege, and I'm showing it to you. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, because I've been talking a lot and I need to let everybody else say something, is that every person that agrees with us, whether you black, brown, Asian, indigenous, anybody that agrees with us should never say this is not our country. America doesn't belong to us. This is the biggest fallacy that they've been pushing since day one. They want us to believe that America's not ours, and they tell the lie enough till it becomes the truth. So for them to have that 11%, now 6% and still be in power, it's because everybody else believes that this is their country and we shouldn't be over here. We shouldn't be entitled to this stuff because they never wanted us in the first place. The answer really is nobody asked them to bring their funky ass over here. They came over here, they took advantage of it, and they told a big enough story to have everybody believe that the United States of America belongs to they dumb inbred ass, and it doesn't. It belongs to the people that built the United States of America. And I don't have to tell y'all who built the United States of America.
You already know who did it.
Everybody knows.
What do you think about the president, the vice president, Vance or Lance, whatever his name is, getting up here and always telling them, oh, don't worry about it. He's going to be, what do you call it when you just make sure that they don't get charged or whatever?
Immunity.
Oh, immunity.
Immunity. How do you set the president? You get up there and you say this. Isn't that like giving them a green card to say go? Y'all don't feel that way, Rico?
Oh, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking about that with my homeboy back home over the weekend. Like, we are the objective. I truly believe that. We are the ultimate objective. But saying that you got immunity, what if they got immunity to kill a white woman? What you think that means for us? Like, they was already killing us and afraid, like, not afraid to go to prison, but some of them did. But now they get immunity? Come on, man. That should wake everyone up, especially minorities. That should wake you up, because I truly believe that it's gonna start happening again. Can I speak on some Chocolate Buddha said? I don't believe that there will be any midterm elections, because if there are midterm elections, they know they're going to lose, and essentially his presidency will be over. And then he would really have to just start breaking the law and doing what he wanted to do, right? If there are midterm elections, the machines are compromised. They didn't put it in the news, but a lot of people don't realize one of his billionaire friends bought the company that services the voting machines. See, a lot of people don't know that. They bought it last year in 2025. They bought the company that services the machines. So come on now. If one of his billionaire friends bought that company, they're going to do what they want with the software on the inside. So
what's up?
Oh, we still can't hear.
Can't hear you, man. We got to give him some bandwidth, man.
Hey, I would real quick, SF-86, for y'all don't know, that's the form you fill out to get a security clearance in the government. Because some people, you kept saying it, I'm sure people didn't know what that was. But that's what it is. Yeah. And back when you was talking about racism and he was trying to say it wasn't, America in, I believe it was September to October, November 2021, America was convicted by a United Nations tribunal of genocides against Black and brown people in this country. And if you read the fine print, say it has been for years systemic racism and killing of minorities in this country, but you don't see that in the news. That happened. So that lets you know this is a racist country. And back to what when we was talking about them people, and you said cannibalism, 1979 was the last reported year of them eating us. They used to eat us because they wanted to absorb our essence. They felt like it gave them strength. Yeah, see, a lot of people
some of that Get Out stuff.
1979. That is the latest recorded date a year for them eating us, because they used to cut our meat off and eat it, the balls, all of that. Yes, yeah, because they wanted to thought it gonna make them strong. For real. Look, everything I'm telling you is out there. So yeah, this is a racist country,
and more is more out there. But I want to go ahead and thank Cream Cup Swindle for staying with us and showing his truthfulness. Thank you for that. And tell your friends to come on now so they can get some of this good seasoning.
Thank you. Oh, my bad.
When we talk about this, I'm gonna make a prediction, and maybe you have us back on, brother, after this. But I believe there will be a midterm election. I believe it's going to be a landslide. And the reason I'm so happy about this, that a lot of people are not looking at, is that we're not the only ones sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you pay attention to the people out there that's doing the rally and the protest, they're not looking like us. They are all for us, but they are not looking like us, and they are not going to take this sitting down. And people like Sweetie Boy, 1223, he's hoping that him and his people are going to be able to scare everybody, but you ain't scaring your own. You ain't scaring your own. And the best thing that has happened in the last 10 years to me was a lesson learned from the 60s, the mid and the late 60s when we was doing the protests. The reason why the protests wasn't working for us is because the majority of the people that was out there protesting were Black, were easy targets. When they changed that up, they changed the narrative, because one of the things Malcolm X and a couple other people said was that racism was never our problem. It was their problem. Racism was never our problem. Anytime we had a problem with somebody that was not melanated, it was because of action they did, not because they were white. It was because they were trying to oppress them. Their whole action attitude for burning down cities, killing and cooking and eating people like us was because they felt they just had the right to. Now they have to meet an opposing force that has that same energy they have, but they can't turn it like they turn it on us. And that's why these marches have been effective. That's why you're not seeing a lot of black people get killed in the street like you saw in the late 60s, because there are people that are white and they are right. They are not looking at this saying, well, I'm just going to go on and get along because of white privilege. They're actually the ones that stand up saying this white privilege shit needs to be dismantled. Because what's at the top of white privilege? White men, not white women, not white kids, white men. And the people that grew up under that, they know better than we know what's going on. And that's why I am so happy, not just to see what they're doing, but what's to come. Because when we're fighting by ourselves, sick and tired, they can take that all day. But when it's us and them that's sick and tired, that little sliver in the middle that's been hollering white power, they ain't got nowhere to go. They really are in between a rock and a hard place.
Now, I see a lot of the protests going out there. I'm like,
Can I get
Rico,
a sound check?
hey, sound, wake up.
We hear you, Wizzo.
What's
Bandwidth
up,
is
man?
received, baby.
I knew you looked
shit, I
familiar.
missed the whole fucking podcast.
Well, hey, guess what, man? Since you're here, you can go ahead and take this, pick up. You have any things that you want to say since I seen you commenting and stuff like that. You have anything you want to say?
Well, I will. I mean, I can wait till you after you go ahead and finish your comment on what you was going to say about Chocolate Buddha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Chocolate Buddha, we got a lot of people out there protesting, and I'm watching the videos online. It's so crazy in the state that we're going through in America. Venezuela just got bombed, right? I seen a black man out there saying, I want to be a part of this because if not, if I don't help them or help you, you're going to be coming towards me next. And don't you know that there was still Venezuelans out there trying to say nigga. Like, I'm like, why, bro? Like, we out here helping your cause and you want to sit here. They're already wiping you out, taking you. Why are you worried about us instead of worrying about what's really affecting you at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's that European narrative that some people just can't shake because they feel like light is right. And the only way they feel better about themselves is to talk about somebody darker than them. And it's not just us, it's their fellow Venezuelans. You know, they get caught up in this thing of, no, you know, I need to look more European so I could be a professional, so I could be right. And if you talk to the other Venezuelans, because I promise you, every Venezuelan's not light. They'll tell you, man, we've been dealing with this racism shit before all this oil stuff been happening because of that European clause where they were like, you got to be lighter. India's going through it. Shit. In Africa, they still going through it and shit.
Yeah. And I've seen it, man. I've been mistaken for a Colombian out here. I went to Mexico. They thought I was playing that I didn't speak no Spanish. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm actually American, African American. You know, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing, you know, like you said, between their own people, man. I see it a lot, and it's kind of shocking. You know what I mean? And it's eye opening at the same time that you would even see people. You know, we're trying to come to your aid, and yet you're still being disrespectful to us. It's wow. Wizzo, you've been going for a minute. You just coming in. What's your thoughts on that, brother?
Man, you know, I had asked that a while back on Wizzo Talk. Should we be out there marching with him, helping with him, and protesting with him, and all that stuff like that? And it was mixed views. You know, some guys were saying yes, some guys were saying no, some saying they not there. You know, they wasn't there with us when we was going through whatever and shit. But me myself, I'm not gonna be out there with the motherfuckers myself. You know, a lot of, not all of them voted for Agent Orange or whatever, but evidently a majority of them did. So let them handle that shit themselves. I'm not getting out there. I'm not marching with them. Let them hang their goddamn self. And just, I miss so much of the podcast, whatever. But I'm just saying that this administration, I was saying earlier that all politicians be lying. You know, they open their mouth, they be lying to you, whatever. But to have this Republican MAGA group of guys, when something is plain as day, they'll flip it, and they whole base MAGA, diehard MAGAs are right there behind them, and they know, for example, that Trump can't fucking read. Motherfuckers just stupid, you know. But MAGA is right there behind them. They didn't want that that black woman in there. When he ran against Hillary, they didn't want that white woman in there. They didn't want no woman off in there, period, in my opinion. And they just die hard MAGA, and it don't matter if Trump comes up there. Trump can get up in there. He can fuck their dog, suck they cat's pussy, and all of the younger children, and fuck the wife too. And they still gonna be right there, die hard Trump. And you got a lot of black people out there, die hard Trump, and I don't even think they really even know why. They claim it's the policies, but when you ask them about the policies, it'd be like, motherfucker, have y'all looked and seen that what he's doing is hurting you guys? Like even this last one, and I'm not even prepared for it, where he's talking about whites was discriminated against by DEI or something, or something I saw. I don't even have it because I didn't know I was gonna bring it up. But pretty soon he trying to get them some motherfucking reparations is what he trying to do instead of with the blacks. And then you have the black people, they'll see all that and they still don't care. They still ride or die Trump. So I don't know if I answered your question about, should we be out there supporting with them motherfuckers? Me, I'm saying no, fuck them. Let them do their shit themselves. But anyway, and then just one quick thing before you go, PM.
Go ahead.
I'm still learning all this technology shit. I had to call my son, the tech support guy. He said, Dad, I'm telling you what you got to do. You got to go off in there and switch the mic and give it permission so it's pulled from such and such. I'm like, well, God damn, this motherfucker. So that's why I wasn't on. All it was a click of the mouse. And I'm back just like that.
I'm glad you came in, man. I'm glad you came to the show. We definitely like your comments and everything like that. Rico, we were just saying, like, should we join them? We have Venezuelans and all these different people. I've seen videos of men out there trying to help and go along with the cause because they said we're going to be next. And the question was, should we step in and help, even though we went through all these years of this stuff by ourselves for years? Nobody helped us. Nobody winked the eye. Very few people joined in. Do you think that we should help the people that's being affected by this right now?
I agree with Wizzo for my own reasons. I believe that if our people are out there, we would be the targets. We would be the people getting killed. So if you go out there, just know what your risks are, because when you go out there, you will be considered the threat and you will be taken out more than likely, especially now after killing of this white woman in what city was that? Minneapolis. But no, I wouldn't recommend going out there because there's already not many of us out there, and you keep going out there, eventually you gonna catch one. I ain't saying you're gonna catch a bullet, but you'll become I'm sure there's already some. It's just not in the news. Yeah. So yeah. I don't think they should.
Rico, when we don't cut you off, it is in the news. I seen an ICE agent going stop some people from exiting a store. I don't know if it was a bodega or a regular store, but a black teen was like, well, I guess it not talking to me. And he kind of ducked between his arms and tried to run. Oh, they beat the brakes off of him, bro.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They beat the brakes off him, Rico.
In the news, it's not in the news, but before this white woman was killed in Minneapolis, there was a black guy killed by ICE, but that got no news play. None.
There was another white woman that was killed too, and the guy ran off and went to Maine, and they brought his ass back.
Oh yeah,
right. In the news, but it just faded again. The sensationalism behind this really points to where we come into this nook in the road that white privilege has ran into their own Achilles heel, which is y'all don't care about nobody, and you show that by killing an innocent white woman. Yeah. And if you think the white people out there are going to let you ride because your white privilege card is in play, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I just want to say something about supporting the protests. I think, like I said before, we have more of them doing the protests for us. And I believe a lot of them have the same feeling in mind that, hey, if y'all come out here, they're going to want to be able to just attack because you black. But when they see all these white faces, it makes them hard for them to do what they normally do. But the second thing is, and this is for any protest, when we're having a protest, I get it, we're trying to get attention, but my military mind said, what's next? If we're doing a protest just so we can show that we rallied up some people, that's not changing the narrative. Now, if you're going to do a protest and you say in the protest, everybody's got to show that they're a registered voter, or we're going to get you registered to vote. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'm all for anything that's going to be past a video of people kneeling down or getting shot and pepper sprayed, because that's what needs to happen. The protest is one part of the equation. The other part is getting your ass out there to vote. I see Mark McNeil has popped up. He used to pop up in Wizzo Talks and stuff. He wants reparations for a new phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, Mark, and you're
That
gonna
is
be
crazy.
shocked at my answer. First of all, you don't need no damn reparations. You probably need a new phone, but you don't need no reparations. But if your government and your country did the right thing, every last one of us would get money to get a new iPhone, because America's that rich. The problem is, where's the money going to? And it's only going to 0.5% of Americans. If we were doing things the right way, we'd be getting checks cut just like they get cut in Dubai, bigger checks than they get cut in Alaska, because we got that kind of money. And if you think all this shit they're saying, well, we don't have enough money to cover that, just look how much money that we give to countries.
Yeah. You know, and let me just go on and say, because I saw somebody post something about obstructing the law, and MAGA is just like, long as it's not them. Well, let me just go and point it out there. You go to January 6th, and I don't know if y'all already said that. Oh, they was all good then. MAGA whooped the shit out of cops. They stormed the Capitol. The white woman that got shot by the black guy, they made her seem like she was a fucking hero. Awarded their family $5 million or something like that. And then you got these stupid ass motherfuckers in the comments. However, we appreciate y'all comments and we appreciate the feedback, and we know that you're not going to agree with us or whatever, but we know y'all some MAGA Trump dick sucking motherfuckers, and that's all that y'all want to do, you know, because no matter what that motherfucker does or whatever his administration does, you guys are just diehard MAGA, diehard Republicans, and not for whatever is right. You want to switch the law to your favor and then call other people stupid motherfuckers. Well, people say, oh, Trump is he's a good businessman. He didn't bankrupt every motherfucking thing that he didn't came across, everything that he didn't touch. And right now, you white people, you know, are not fearing him because y'all just want all of the people of color gone anyway. That's why I think all of the MAGA guys and MAGA supporters are so strongly for this motherfucker. Now, while the black people are and the brown people are or whatever, who knows? They may be just fucking lost. I don't know. But you ought to see that his administration is against everything that's a color of color. And you got the MAGA dick sucking motherfuckers. They right there along with them. And, you know, that's just my thought on that. And I think Josh, and we'll say we appreciate your comments. I know PM appreciate all the comments and feedback.
Oh yeah.
And we know everybody not going to agree. But you can't be switching the law. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And you guys that Trump already has the Supreme Court. He's got the House. He has the Senate. Why he has to make all these motherfucking executive orders? Go and run that shit through there while you can. The Supreme Court already say you can go door to door and knock on the motherfucker door and take them out. You can stop and check them. They did that shit in New York years ago.
Stop and frisk, right?
Let's stop and frisk shit. White people ain't have to worry about it. And they don't care, but they just want them. They want all the black people out now. And I'm gonna say this here: you got the administration, you got all these jobs out there now that ICE didn't come and took from the farmers and from everybody else. Why come Making America Great ain't out there getting them motherfuckers? Making America Great was Venezuela was about drugs. Now we find out it's about oil. Man, get the fuck out of here. Trump steady getting rich, and you dumb cocksucking MAGA motherfuckers, y'all out there, you don't care just long as ain't no Democrat in there. Now, I will say this. There is some things that the Republicans are doing I like. But I bet you some of these motherfuckers, MAGAs in the comments, not going to say that about no Democrat because they just die hard, ride or die with that stupid motherfucker. I yield back my time.
And shout out to Jason Payne. What up, man? Jason is in the building. Say what's up, fellas.
Oh, what's up, Jason?
Hey, I think it's what's up, Jason? And Jason said what it's called, white Christian nationalism. I just, this is what I don't get, man. These people make a mockery of the Almighty Most High because there's nothing Christ-like in any of them ones that are racist, them devils. That's what I like to call them. And speaking on what Wizzo was saying, they're that way, those white men, because they think like him, because they are him. Mediocre, can't do anything by itself but want praise. That's what they are. That's why they're okay with it. They're trying to make it normal and okay because of this Epstein thing to have sex with little girls. Some of
Yeah.
the big news people online talking about, well, it's not like she was 5, she was 13 or 14. That's the type of people who we're dealing with. They used to have sex with their sisters.
Mhm.
They would rape their own family members. Like, these are the type of people we dealing with. So, and that's why they're okay with it. So I don't like the rape. I'm not saying all white people are like that because I know they're not. But a majority of them are, 85 to 90% of them are. And this is the way that they think. I don't even understand why they women are with them,
Well,
because
as you can
they
see,
beat them.
they leaving by the numbers.
Oh yeah, they beat them, they rape them, they hurt them, they beat the kids, rape the kids,
Yep.
and yet they still with them. So it baffles me.
Yeah.
So in a state like this, I think Rico, you said it. If the United Nations step in, how do they enforce, and how does it work if the United Nations say, you know what, the UN, we're going to step in because you guys are doing this, and we need to stop you from bombing these other places, taking, you kidnapped the president and this man's woman. I've never heard you taking of a woman. I can hear you taking a man, but you went over there and took this man's woman. Do they step in and they come over here and create a war to say, you know what, we're just going to attack the United States? How?
Did he freeze? Oh, he went away.
Yeah, his picture went away.
But I'll answer the question. In a perfect world, it will work that way. But for the most part, most of the countries are afraid of the U.S. They are. But I guarantee you, enough of them band together, they can hurt us. Because if we go into Greenland, NATO will attack us. Not all members, but some. France and Germany are preparing their country for war with us. But so I do wish that it was like that, but we're a powerhouse in the world. You see how the people in Venezuela was talking about our weaponry and how only 20 men took out hundreds and stuff like that. People don't want them kind of problems. But if they have to deal with them, they will. Like what's going on in Greenland. If the US attacks and tries to go and take Greenland, countries in Europe will attack us. They will attack us. They
And
won't
is that
have a
another
choice.
country that's full of minerals and stuff like that? Because they say Venezuela
Yeah,
has more
it's
minerals and
called
stuff like
rare,
that in Africa.
called rare earth minerals, worth billions, possibly trillions of dollars. Rare earth minerals. See, China controls 90% of the world's not all, but certain rare earth minerals. They are tired of having to deal with China for the things like the batteries that go in the what is it?
Lithium
Lithium,
batteries.
not
Lithium.
lithium, but I forgot what it's called. It's some compound that they make the batteries of, and these chips that goes into the phone. China controls 90% of the world's population of that.
Wow.
And Greenland has some of it. So that would basically, we wouldn't have to depend on China. We would control what's in the ground, and we can give it, sell it around the world for ourselves.
Right. I think Chaka Buddha might have somebody before he do something. When you was talking about the United Nations attacking, the United States or whatever. I mean, I don't see that. I don't even see that happening right there myself. I mean, it is probably could. And you guys are military veterans, and I have no idea about it. I think that even though the United Nations shit, I mean, how many? I mean, as far as I know, it's United Nations, so it's a shitload of them. They probably outnumbers. They have the technology, have this and have that, but I don't think they're willing to get the support to go and do that. And as far as Trump goes and his staff, he don't even care shit about no constitution. He don't care about nothing about law. He feels he's above the law and can do whatever it is that he wants to do. And the last thing I say is that for his Greenland and all these other places, that Venezuela, and he told Colombia and South Africa or somebody else to be on watch. It's all about money, man. How much is enough for them? They want whatever it is they have. But that's just my little speak.
And so Jason says the UN has no enforcement arm. They operate in sanctions.
Hmm.
That's a fact, and that's what I was going to bring up. This might sound cocky and shit, but I don't care. Nobody attacked the United States, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. The only country on the planet that even has a chance of making it an even fight is China. Nobody can mess with us. And I'm not saying that because this is what I'm proud. This is some things that I know.
Yeah.
Nobody can touch us. And that is part of the problem with having an idiot as a president.
Mm-hmm.
We got that kind of power, and he really feels that he can do some stuff with Greenland. But with Greenland, the problem is going to come from everybody doing the blockade, and he's going to have to kill some innocent people to get it. It's not that they're going to be able to fight us to stop us. If we really wanted to, we could actually do some manifest destiny shit on the planet. That's what kind of power we got. I'm serious. That's what kind of power we have. But we have checks and balances in place that keep us from doing this. The problem, what we have in the administration is that he's not respected any of those checks and balances. And like a big kid, he's trying to push as far as he can go to see where the red line is. And unlike his last presidency, he got a whole bunch of ass kisses that's like, oh, we know what the rule is, but we're going to go for it anyway. Let's just see what happens. Yeah. That's the problem. One other thing I want to say, because when I was all trying to grab something, we were talking about white people in this thing. I am not against all white people. I am a fan of a lot of white people because today's white people have the intestinal fortitude to tell people what's right or wrong. Unlike in the 40s and 50s where they were like, I'm not going to say anything because I'm white and I need to be quiet. Or, peep this, I'm not really white and I don't want anybody to find out my secret, so I better be quiet. Today's people that's out there, they have a small majority that's screaming at the top of their lungs, white power, we want white privilege, because it's going away. And there's more white people that's saying, we're tired of this shit. We've been told lies our whole lives, and you've been trying to get me to hate somebody because they look different than me. And I come to find out these are the people that made sure that our family was in the position we are now. So no, I can read, I can understand, and I'm not taking this no more. And the biggest trick that the racist white privileged team wants us to believe is that all white people are bad. Because if they can get us to believe that all white people are bad, we go right back to the 1950s. And that shit is gone. Why? Because education is a motherfucker. People are reading, people are listening, they're tuning in. And guess what? They're talking to people like us. They're getting their education bits from us. They're watching podcasts like this one. And they're looking at that and looking at their notes saying, wait, what Mima and people told me was wrong. What my president is telling me is wrong. And I'm not doing the wrong stuff. One thing about some of these kids that do what they want, they don't have a problem telling their parents to go to hell. We've seen this before. We laugh about it, but this is what's happening. Their parents, hey, you can't be playing with the black people. Shut up, Marsha. And they'll curse out their parents and come over and hang out with us and be breakdancing with us, be eating seasoned food with us, and they'll check their parents. And that's what they're really scared of. The same kids that they raised are the kids that's turning around saying, no, we're not doing it. And you can't make me. And if you try, you're going to have to kill me because I'm going to fight you just like you will fight them.
Yep.
That's the magic part, people.
So if it's a situation to where we have a civil war and China and Russia wants to bomb us, aren't they going to be spread thin? Even though we have this big military, wouldn't that spread them thin to be trying to face all these different things? Because somebody's going to have to pick a side. You can't fight us on soil and then fight what's coming in. Do you have enough manpower? Is there enough to withstand that?
PM, I'm gonna tell you this with full clarity, like I can. There will be no ground war. We got missiles to cover every place on the planet. All they got to do is say the word. First of all, Russia can't do shit because everybody trying to get at Russia for some get back for what they doing. So they're already off the playing table. Again, China's the only one that's really the big problem. But for everybody else, we can make parking lots with one press of a button.
Dang.
That's what we got here. This is why we've been in the position to do stuff, and people say, well, we need to have sanctions. We have a conversation because we got that firepower. We got that. We are them. I'm serious. Everyone on the planet, they do all this talking and stuff. They know. Look at what happened to Iran when they were talking all that smack, and we sent them B-2 bombers over there. Didn't even get touched, bombed 5 or 6 places, and came back home. And they didn't send anything to America. You know why? Because they know one button, parking lot.
Yeah, and,
We got
and
that
I
kind
think
of
that's what Trump has been briefed on, and knowing and understanding that we have that kind of power. He did in his first term. Now he got all these other ones all up in his ear telling him, hey, we some bad motherfuckers. Can't nobody fuck with us. We can go there and do what we want to. It was on one of the podcasts before. I don't know which one. Jason said that the U.S. ain't number bullies. You know, they can go over there and set the USS Ronald Reagan over by such and such and such and such and tell them, I dare you to move or whatever. You know, and here it is. You got, you know, we didn't went over there and the U.S. went over there and did this shit to Venezuela. And then you kind of compare, well, what is Russia doing to Ukraine? You know, and people say, well, what's the damn difference? But MAGA, they say, oh, yeah, Trump is strong. He's strong and he's this. But that motherfucker. Anyway, I just had to feel that.
Jason said, I spoke to y'all about the BRICS alliance last year. It's happening now. Chicks coming home to roost. They're riding themselves to the dollar and moving to the, was it Rubens of Yon? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Rebels of Yon.
No, he right. We spoke about that on Wizzo's show. The BRICS, that stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Oh,
That's
okay.
and it's not just them now, but they've started it. It's a bunch of countries overseas. They got together and decided they're going to create their own currency and start trading in that currency so they don't have to depend on the dollar. See, and even further in that, a lot of people don't even know that the only reason the dollar has value is because of the what's called the petrodollar. A long time ago, I don't remember what year, these countries, when the U.S., I think it's Saudi Arabia, they agreed to only trade and sell oil in the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is what's called a fiat currency, meaning it doesn't have a tangible item to back it with. It just, its belief is basically what people have in it. That's it. And if people stop using the dollar, it's already being devalued right now. They crumble our economy, which is what their goal is to do. The only way U.S. sanctions work is because they cut the people off from the dollar. Like Russia, when they sanction these countries, they cut them off from the dollar and they can't trade. So their country dang near crumbles. So they have to find other ways to stimulate their economy. So what they're doing now with BRICS is they're doing to us what we basically been doing for 100 years or however long. Yeah, basically. So that's what BRICS is. And a lot of people, they never heard of it. That's why I keep telling people the U.S. economy is going to crash. If you have your money in these capital markets, stock markets and stuff like that, you're going to lose it. If you don't, you might as well take it out and spend it now because the dollar will eventually go to zero.
Enrico, you mentioned that to start investing in crypto, correct?
Yes, because everything's going to be digital. We will live in a cashless society, and cryptocurrency, it will be king. It's not a tangible asset. Crypto, it's called cryptocurrency because it's digital. People think it's physical money, and it's not. It's a way to move money and real world assets. It takes out the middleman. You can become your own bank. That's what it's all what's called decentralized finance. So, and that's where we're going. Actually, just the other day, I was making a purchase online, and I posted it. I don't know if y'all seen it. I made a purchase online, and one of the payment methods was cryptocurrency. That was my first time ever seeing that. That's how serious this is. They're waiting for what's called a Clarity Act, which are the laws and regulations on crypto. And then the bank's going to open the floodgates, and people are going to be late. This will be the biggest wealth transfer in history right now with cryptocurrency. So if you don't have any, you should go buy some.
I have a little bit. I got to go check.
I can tell you which ones to purchase.
What'd you say?
I can tell you which ones to purchase. I
Okay.
can say it. Yeah, I can tell you offline or right now.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
hey, if you know something
Hey,
right
if
now, what's
you
the
out there,
top
you
2 or
want to
3?
invest in crypto, again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a 3 to 5 year growth. You can do recurring purchases. I use this site called Kraken. But buy XRP, XDC, XLM, HBAR, one called ZBCN or Zebek. That's the same thing. And HBAR is Hedera. And purchase these on a site called Kraken, KRAKEN. Those are some to start with. I have more, but those are ones, they're called, the new banking system is on a new messaging system called ISO 20022. They flipped the switch on it back in November. And that's the new messaging system that's going to move money around the world. And those cryptos that I just gave, there's only a few like 7 to 10 cryptos that are ISO 20022 compliant. And I just gave you like 5 of them, guaranteed to blow. And they're real cheap. Some of them are only a few cents. The one XRP is like a little over $2, but some of them $100 can change your life. $200 can change your life forever.
Get in
So
early, right?
because it's still early, it's at its infancy. So
Okay.
if you out there listening, buy those cryptos. Hey, you can learn how to use crypto later. Just buy it.
Yeah.
Make a reoccurring purchase, monthly purchase, $40, $50, whatever you can. It'll change your life.
hey, I'll tell you this on that cash. Oh, were you finna go, PM?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When me and my lady, we were down in Austin, man, at somewhere. I took her for a birthday to eat and shit, man. I was trying to pay with 100. He like, look, we don't even really have no change, you know. Long story short, you know, he wanted me to use my card. I'm like, I didn't want to use my card. I had just tucked the money out the bank to try to pay with cash, but you know, a lot of them not having the change or not having that because they want you to go and pay with the card. But then one other thing that I was running off into is that some of these businesses are charging you a convenience fee for using your debit card, and I found out that's against the law here in Texas that they can't do that, you know. And but some of them are still doing it, and I mentioned it to this one place, and then they say, well, no, we just charge that for a credit card, which they can for the credit card, but not the debit card. It's supposed to be against the law to do that. So, but
I've seen a gas station where they'll charge you different for gas like that too, whether it's cash, and I'll see the sign. At first, I thought I was tripping.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing the sign flip. It's credit cash.
Yeah.
For the gas station. Okay.
Yeah, that's how that cash deal and working. So, but anyway, but APM, I don't know if you saw that. I sent that to Jason. Told Jason to go on. Come on, he must be off, but I don't know how much longer you got going. I ain't been on the motherfucker for 30 minutes because of technical difficulties and shit. So I come in cussing and shit. But I did make sure I share it, so I'm sharing it on my page and some shit like that. So, but
okay.
Yeah, Jason very knowledgeable about these type of things as well. I've been on the show and talked about it.
Yeah, he said the crash is coming in 12 to 24 months. So
I'm telling you, I've been preparing for it. The crash is coming. That crypto will be king. Yeah. For the next 100 years.
The greatest transfer of wealth. Yes, sir.
Buy it. Those specific ones that I said, $100, $200 change your life. 500 can change your descendants' life. I'm telling you, if you hold long enough. Think about this, PM. Bitcoin used to be less than 1 cent for one. If a person bought $100 worth of Bitcoin when it first came out, with Bitcoin now is what, over $85,000 for one? It was over 100 and something now for one. That means that $100 that would probably be close to 100 million or 50 million or something like that right now, depending on the amount that they had off of $100. If you hold, that's what I'm doing. I don't plan on selling it. I'm holding. I'm okay in my life. My goal is to hold so that I can set up my descendants that I'll probably never meet forever. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So they don't have to
jump back into it
ever. They don't have to. I can put you on, teach it to you. I don't need to teach it all to you at once. I just need to teach you how to purchase it, set up a reoccurring purchase, and then I could tell you more about it later.
Yeah, Rico's talking about that several times. I remember hearing him talking about that on Wizzo Talk several times about digital currency and stuff. So
I want to help our people, but most of them won't listen. I've been saying these things for 4 or 5 years, and it's only been a few people who I done put on, and they done already more than doubled their money. they just wait. I tell them just hold, don't sell.
Yeah, I think they listen, but I think they're just scared
Scared.
to go on and put that in there. However, at the same time, some of them, it depends on the age, they go buy them $200 Jordans or $300 bottle of cologne or something like that instead of going and invest in something in their future or something like that. So I think they listening, but I think they just scared.
Yeah, but they should. It's something major and will get you out from under these people's thumb.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Set your family up, buy and hold.
Yeah.
And I can teach you all about it. Never sell it. You
Bet,
can
bet, 'cause
borrow from it.
I have it. I just gotta. I'll let you know. I'm gonna find it in my phone which ones I'm tied into, so you can check those too.
Okay. Do you know about crypto?
Yeah, I used to mess with it like 2 years ago, man. And when it turned real, the market turned bloody. When the Doge and all that stuff was coming in, I kind of like stopped putting money into it. I used to put some money into it, then it turned red, and I started losing money.
Oh, he
God,
froze.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but the market, whether it's capital market or the crypto market, is very volatile. So you just have to know what you hold and just hold. I lost about 15 to 17,000 in one weekend in crypto. But 3 weeks later, I made more than that back.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Oh,
But it's because there's no laws on it right now. It's everyone is not using it right now. They passed what's called a Genius Act. That's for these stable coins, which stable coins are paid 1-to-1 with the US dollar for whenever the dollar crashes, people gonna start paying in what's called a stable coin or different. It's a type of crypto as well. But the crypto market, that's the future. So I can't. I just keep saying it. I keep saying them. Any of our people that want to listen, you want to change your financial future, buy crypto.
I heard
And
that.
Buddha, you have anything before we move on to the next one? You have anything you want to say about that?
No, I'm listening to this. I'm still reading, but I'm a land kind of guy. Some people call me a prepper, but when everybody trying to buy coins and stuff like that, I'm gonna be selling my corn. I'm gonna be selling my rice. I'm gonna be selling my fish, because that's what I'm building. I mean, you gotta have that money and stuff, but the way things are going, and I'm hoping it doesn't go there. But if it gets to the end of tomorrow, you can't eat a Bitcoin. You can't live under a Bitcoin. And I'm gonna be ready for all that stuff when they come see me.
Hey,
Check this out, Buddha.
yeah.
I'm gonna go get me a motor home. And just rent me out a little space to park my motor home on.
I got you, man. I'm gonna even have a hookup for you.
Got you.
I feel you with that right there. Hey, a part of my preparation, like I was telling them, I've been preparing. I bought a lot of seeds to plant. I did all of that. Yeah. I'm telling you, I've been checking my list and trying to make sure I'm prepared. My family, I'm prepared for my family. So,
And that leads us right into the next one, man. How should we get ready for what's next? What preparation would you guys suggest that we should get? You know what I mean? We talked about it, Rico, a little bit before the show. From each one of you fellas, like, what should we do next? You know what I mean? To get ready for whatever it's going to be. Wizzo, you ready to take that?
Yeah, I'll start. And just by listening to I've heard Jason before, I've heard Chocolate Buddha, and I've heard Rico, about the stockpiling and getting the weapons and getting ready and stuff like that. I think that we need to make sure that that everyone that we can possibly know, woman or anyone of color, are packing some type of heat, or some type of self-defense thing. I think we need to get them ready. Now, a lot of women scared, they don't want no gun, they don't want ever, but these MAGA people are looking for the weakest person, and they're going to try to attack that weak link. They're not going to mess with like one of you guys, myself, or anybody like that, because they look at somebody weak, somebody walking by themselves. So what we need to do next, we need to make sure that we prepared, stockpile and all that. If you haven't now, you need to. But my biggest thing right now, I'll be saying is be able to protect yourself and your family. If somebody come kicking in your door, whatever, I think you need to buy extra door stops or whatever they call, or something kind of fortify your door a little bit more. To if they want to come in, make somebody come in through the window, to making sure your home is really protected and your family. because now, I've seen it on the news with these guys just busting and kicking in doors and shit, and they don't know who I am in the area and the community that I live in. They might not have done their research, and they really don't even give a fuck. They just want to kick that door in. So I wish I could. I know Chocolate Buddha and Rico probably know how. I wish I can kind of set up a damn booby trap or something with the door. But to answer your question, Joe, what should we do next, man? My biggest thing is I'm just gonna say, because if you're starting stockpiling now, you behind, but you should make sure that your lady, yourself, or somebody is packing heat, get certified, learn how to use that weapon, and be ready at all times. Keep your head on the swivel. If you're off in that store, you're off in the mall, get off the damn phone and pay attention to your surroundings. So that's my biggest thing. All of the other, I'm a little late, but I am ready. So I'll kind of be like Jason. I ain't gonna tell everything that I have or got, but I just know that I am ready. So that's the biggest thing that I say what we should do next.
For me, I started with my family like I did with my soldiers in the military. I tried to prepare them mentally for what was to come. Yes, it was different when you're going across that water, but what I done told my family is I'm talking to them about prepare to be without eating every day, 3 times a day, or maybe only eating once every couple of days. Prepare to be without electricity. Get your mind ready, because if there's no electricity, you're not going to have a phone. Prepare for you probably won't be able to eat hot food. I'm telling you, in your head. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm serious. I'm trying to prepare you mentally, because this is what will happen if wars break out around this country. So because I believe that mental preparation is so important, because when you're going into battle or something that you're not used to, it can shock the brain. I done seen people freeze up. I froze up one time when I was a private in this country called Kosovo. The first time I got shot at. So you can freeze up, and that's not good for anyone. So prepare mentally, because if you're prepared mentally, you're going to stay calm and you're able to think better and react. So I'm still doing the physical things I need to do, but mental preparation should be top notch and first in everyone's thoughts.
Gotcha. And Chocolate Buddha, what you got to say about it?
Well, I'm gonna say what I always say. I used to say this to my soldiers too. Practice makes progress. You're never gonna get perfect, but you need to practice. With everybody that's getting these weapons and stockpile, that's good, but that don't mean shit if you don't know how to clean it, if you don't know how to aim it, if you don't know how to work with a misfire. You got to practice that stuff. Same thing with the phone. Phones go out. What's the backup? What are you gonna do? Right. Electricity go out. Do you have a generator? If generator goes out, what are you going to do to get that back online? You can't just talk about those things. You got to practice that. So when it happens, it's almost like a muscle memory. So I think the more people engage with that, the more better they'll be prepared, because a lot of times you could talk yourself senseless and be scared. But when you practice it all the time and you do it, it's almost like jumping out of a plane. I don't care if you have 5 jumps or 50 jumps. Every jump starts with practicing the PLF, parachute landing fall. And the reason how you do this is because if you're jumping in the middle of the night, your chute gets caught up. You got to pull your secondary chute. You bump into somebody else and y'all falling together. When you hit the ground, you're not going to think, how do I do a PLF? You automatically going to do it because it's ingrained in your head. Same thing with shooting. If you shoot enough times, you don't have to line up that front rear sight all the time, because muscle memory is going to make you feel where that bullet needs to go, and you can adjust fire on the fly. But you got to practice. And the more you practice it, the better it is, and the less scary it is. So the last thing I want to say about it is good luck. Everybody talks about doing stuff, but we can't just be talking about it. You got to get comfortable with the what ifs and make it happen. In about 10 years, I can share this with y'all. In about 10 years, you're probably going to call me Farmer Buddha, because I've already have a game plan of putting stuff in place. And it's not just if the stuff happens, but it's the way of life that I'm looking at doing after retirement. So everything can't be worst case scenario, because what if worst case scenario doesn't do with that 3,000 rounds of ammunition that you got? What you gonna do with those chickens? You know, what you gonna do with that generator, that 15 or that 60K generator you got? You should be planning that in the what ifs. If it happens bad, okay, we're ready. But if nothing happens, this is gonna work in our day-to-day process. That takes the fear out of it for me.
Speaking on something he said, when it comes these I read a news article and I forgot what the people call some type of statistics people they do. But they said that if what we're talking about happens, like we lose power and all of this and the dollar crashes, all these things happen, a third of people won't make it to the first 36 hours because people will start killing each other and panicking. They won't make it the first 36 hours. So people out there, stay inside the first 36 hours no matter what, especially if you don't have a weapon, because the streets will be chaotic and murder, death, killing, stealing will be running rampant. I'm telling you, just think about it. When people don't have food, they don't have power, they can't do nothing. They get restless, they get angry, when people get hungry and all this, and men, they're gonna go out, they're gonna still want to feed their families. And the women that need to, they'll get ruthless too. I'm telling you, the body doesn't want to die, and it will take over your mind in order to survive. It will make you do some things that you would never think you would do and do them with ease.
Yeah, because I'm gonna buy me a deep freezer and I'm gonna start putting motherfuckers off in there. I'm gonna eat their head later on. And shit. Cut the motherfuckers up. I'm gonna turn it into a cannibal. Shit.
You gonna turn it to Wizzo?
Oh, Wizzo. Hey, Wizzo, the new 7 tonight. Wizzo 7. He the pomegranate samurai tonight.
Hey, I tell you this though, I do like what Chocolate Buddha was saying though about. I saw Jason say more than a third about it won't do any good if you don't know how to use any of that shit and what's your backup plan and stuff like that. So I mean, that's definitely some definitely good point. That's why I say get some training and shit like that. So that's what's up.
It's gonna get really, really bad. I'm telling you, everybody watching, spread to your families. When these things happen, because they're more than likely going to happen, stay in the house.
Yeah, I can imagine the grocery stores and all that stuff, man. It's gonna be hectic.
They're gonna rob them. They're gonna loot them. They're gonna loot them. Stay in the house. You should stockpile your food now. Rice, beans, noodles, canned goods, non-perishable, any type of non-perishable item. Hell, buy you some MREs. I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got 2 questions. Handheld radios, and where do the people go out to get these MREs and these supplies that are just, blind to the fact of what's going on?
You can literally order them online right now.
Yes.
MREs,
Everything I
MREs,
bought.
radios,
like the walkie-talkie
water
radio.
filter
What's
thing. You can order all that stuff.
I have them.
The hand crank radios and stuff. Because remember, what we're talking about is not something that's never happened before. If you want to look at worst case scenario, just flip your mind back to 2005 Katrina. That place, New Orleans, was shut the fuck down. Matter of fact, all of Louisiana south of I-10 was pretty much a war zone. And they had to come up with unique ways to literally survive until the people got up in there. Just a little knowledge about me, that's where I'm going to be at. I'm going to be in Louisiana in 10 years because for the first 36 hours when everybody panicking and stuff, nobody coming out there to me. I'm going to be out there checking traps and noticing that, the power went out and stuff. I'm still going to be eating chicken, might be squirrel, I don't know. I'm going to have 2 deep freezers running off my generator. Got all kind of meat, not human meat, but I'm going to be ready. And some of y'all, I'm going to invite y'all to come over for a crawfish boil. The other one's going to catch that bullet in the mass, and I'm going to have to drag them out there for the crows to get.
And then put them in your deep
have
freezer.
some of that solvent green meat.
Yeah.
That solvent green meat, that's human meat. I think that's what it's called.
Hey, I tell you this on that radio deal, man. It comes across my timeline about them long range radios all the time, and I've been looking at them and shit like that. I haven't purchased any of them, but I see somebody posting, where to get them. Of course, everything's online, Amazon, Costco's, and stuff like that. But definitely good to have to communicate with your family or with whomever or whatever. And people can be looking back now and they can be laughing and saying, "Oh man, that shit gonna happen, that shit gonna whatever." But shit, by the time it does happen, if you hadn't prepared, then you fucked.
Pretty late. PM, 2 things. Number one, you can also check out the Army Navy surplus stores.
Mhm.
You go over there, they usually have some discounts because a lot of preppers, they have too much stuff or they get divorced because they've been prepped too hard. They take it over there so you can get it for a discount price. And the other thing, this is something that I used to tell soldiers because I hate people being late, but it goes to getting ready for whatever happens. If you early, you're gonna be on time. If you're on time, you're late. And what I'm
Yep.
saying is you need to be starting now, getting ready for what may or may not happen. If you wait to do it right when it happens, you're already too late.
Late.
Yep. He
Yep.
damn sure is. It's
Well,
serious out there, especially for our people to try to prepare because economically we're at the bottom of the totem pole. When it comes to economically, most people don't even have any spare money to prepare for anything, and they're dependent on that. That's why they're expecting all these people to die from all kinds of things. So and at the end of the day, it all boils down to this AI, and they want to depopulate the planet because the more AI takes over, you don't need all these people. So that's what I believe it's all about anyway. But that's a topic for another day. But you definitely need to do what you can. I'll say this lastly for me. I started telling people, man, let go of your anger with your family and your close friends behind nonsense, some little things that you don't want to, because what's coming, you're gonna need one another. You're gonna need the people who you love and who love you, you care about. Let go of all of that. You're not gonna be able to make it by yourself. They want us divided because they don't want no one to come to your rescue. Let go of the BS, my people, please, because that time is not now. You're gonna need people to have your back. If you sitting around trying to do this by yourself, you're just not gonna make it. Especially for all the young women out there that are single mothers and y'all dislike this woman over here or this man over. No, you're gonna need protection
yeah.
because they want you to be alone and catch you by yourself. Because then you won't be able to defend yourself. So let go of all the anger, my people. Heal one another, get together, bond again, because you're gonna need one another.
Yeah, we definitely need to stop that, man, and come together. It's that time. It's been going on too long. We come to the end of the show right now, man. I'd like you guys to go your last statements or whatever you want to do. People to go ahead and take from this actual conversation that we had. It was a great conversation, man. I know I can count on you fellas, man. We can go ahead and start with at the top with Chocolate Buddha and just go ahead and go around the circle, man.
All right. First of all, thank you for having me, PM. It's a pleasure to be here on your podcast and talk with these brothers. It always does my heart good. It's like a mental goal for me. What I want to tell everybody is, in lieu of all the bad stuff that's happening, don't focus on the doom and gloom. Focus on the positivity. Just like Rico said and a couple other people said, try to let go of the animosity that's needless. Try to bring bonds because that's what we're going to really need in the future. And I don't just say that for just one group of people. I mean that for everybody. If you're in a community and things happen like this, the best way out is a community outreach. So if you can connect with people in your community and start building those bonds now, it'll be easier to move forward in a catastrophe than doing it by yourself. Now, will there be some people in the community that you don't want in your circle? Absolutely. But the best way you're going to learn about that is reaching out to them and find out who's going to be good and who we need to make sure they keep out of the circle, because it really does take a village, not just to raise a kid, but to move forward. So stay positive, look for the positive stuff. And when things happen, come together. Don't try to split apart, because that's the easiest way to get picked off. So appreciate you letting me have my time. This is Chocolate Buddha. Do good, people.
Appreciate you. And thank you for your service, sir. And Rico. Rico, you up next, man. You go ahead and let people know they can take home with you.
Hey, I enjoy coming on here too, so I appreciate it. And for me to take home with you is, for me, just prepare, like seriously. And it's gonna take men like us all around this country in order to get our people through it. And for the men out there who don't have your stuff together, you need to, because I know you have a woman somewhere in your life that you care about, and you're going to need to protect her. This is serious, like very serious, the things that's going on in this country. Stop going out partying, save your money, buy things that you need. Stop wasting your money and all that. I didn't do anything for Christmas. I don't have money to waste. I spent my money on things of importance. So just prepare. So you won't be the ones in that first 36 hours that's gone.
All right.
And
That's
Wizzo,
right. Well, PM, shit, man, I appreciate you for having me on. As always, sending me the message. Shit, I hate it. I missed 3/4 of it, but technical difficulties. Had to call my son tech support, but god dang it, I made it on back up again. Shit, you know. But it's different when you on the other end of the podcast and not the one hosting it. So, you know, but anyway, but my thing that I'll say, you know, and it's a little bit different, maybe on a different little topic, but if to anyone out there that has grandkids or teenagers or you know them, tell them do not trust the cops. I mean, because, you know, or if they're underage, you tell them, hey, wait, don't answer no questions. Make sure you let me call my mama or let me call somebody, pull out the camera, start recording or whatever. Don't argue with the cop in no traffic stop. You're not going to win that stop right there. Just go ahead. Here in Texas, you do not have to physically hand them your license. You can display it, but just cooperate a little bit to live. But we need to make sure we let our kids know, don't trust the cops. And I think nowadays more than ever, because I've seen the news, cops, they getting caught with porn, they lying, they stealing, they raping, they doing everything, you know. So just teach your kids and teach, you know, your younger kids and teenagers better. And if you're an adult, hey, don't argue with that cop at that traffic stop. You're not going to win or whatever. Just go and gather all the information you need, get your record, do whatever, live through that, and then take care of his ass at court. And if you need anything to find out how to take care of certain situations, you reach out to a couple of old buddy friends that you have from the military, and they'll let you know how to set a boot trap. But reach out to
Claymore, man.
That's all I would say. PM, I appreciate you having me on. It's always good chopping up with you guys. And again, I'm sorry that I was late coming on, but the technical difficulties when you go live, it happens.
yeah, we got you, man. And Rico and Chocolate Buddha, again, man, thank you for your service. I appreciate it, man. And if anybody that's listening, if you can get a chance to visit Wizzo Talk, subscribe to his channel, follow me. Has great conversations. He has also these gentlemen on there, and it's a lot of good stuff news that you can use, basically.
Appreciate it.
And like I said, man, from there, man, y'all stay safe out there, bro. I'm glad to even know you fellas, man. You're a good set of gentlemen. I promise you. I respect every bit of it, man. I thank you.
Same to you, brother.
Same
You
to
guys stay safe out there. Enjoy your new
Good
year.
night.
And, stay out the
See
way.
y'all.
All right now.
Peace.